We're here in MMPC Tech's workshop, and we've got Dave LaLopa from PCDesignLab.
Hi everybody!
He's assembling our custom box that we just modified.
We just spent, what was it, 5-6 hours on this fan mod. It's like none ever seen in the modding community.
It looks orange, but it actually is red when it's lit up. Believe it or not. Like fire.
Well, we had to change the... It had a ATX power connector. We had to change that to a motherboard header, 3-pin header. We didn't like the sticker. That was the most time consuming, was changing the sticker in the back. We got Bill's good old gasket and grommets on here, which we had to punch the holes out a little. But it's going to be much quieter. It always is.
Dude, that looks nice. I like that orange and black.
Oh, it's very nice. Okay, it's been 8 hours now. The sun is going down. We got our fan in. It's looking good though. But one thing I wanted to point out while we were here, and to pimp the case a little bit, was if you notice how the heatsink is so close to the back case fan. Actually, a lot of times we don't even use the CPU fan because it's just so close. And you can see that when you put the radiator bracket on here and use it as a fan bracket, that the heatsink is totally boxed in by 120mm fans. And because of the power of these fans and the size of this case, it's a 1 cubic foot case, and with 3 120mm fans pulling air like a quiet one will move air at 40 to 50 CFM, it's going to replace all the air in this case like once every less than a second. So right now, currently, in my opinion, this is the coolest case out there right now. There's other cases where like it's a proper mid-tower size case, and they put 6, 8 120mm fans in there to move the same amount of air, but because there's less volume, and because things are put in there are arranged a little more smartly, it's just more effective at doing that. So that was a big part of the design and why I love this radiator bracket. This is our featured system 1. It's on our website, and you're going to see anything that enthusiasts can be familiar with. 8800 GTS. Although the case can fit longer cards, the GTX, the Ultras, and we actually have some telephony customers that have cards that are longer than the latest Monster Graphics cards. And of course your Sound Blaster. This is it seems like Newegg is only selling the Fatality version now. They're kind of going goofy with their models. But another company to look at is HT Omega, and they're making some really great home theater PC stuff. It's not as good as the Creative for gaming because this has EAX and all that good stuff. But the one nice thing that it does have is they actually decided to put a header on the card that you can plug your front case I/O into, which I wish it's something that everyone wishes that Creative would do, and they just refuse to do it because you have to buy their front panel in order to have front case I/O. So anyway, that's something to think about. And as you can see, we're trying out Patriot RAM here. And the main reason why I switched to Patriot, and it's because I've been a Corsair fan for a long time until they started putting Promos IC in their Dominator RAM, and that was a huge disappointment, and it wasn't overclocking well. So I've been looking at other companies, and Patriot is, these are really good price right now. So they've been overclocking great, they perform great. If I have any complaints about it, the heat spreaders, they do their job, but they're not as cool as the other ones. The Dominator looks really aggressive, like it means business, and the OCZ looks like it's all bling. You wear it around your neck, but whatever. These do the job, and maybe I'll put an aftermarket one on later if I do some kind of mod. We're cheating a little bit because this is pre-wired, and I wanted to get a lot deeper into cable management. But this is all going to be hidden underneath the CD drive, and it turns out to be really clean. And I guess if to say anything about cable management is a lot of people request when I do systems for them, they ask me if the cables are going to be sleeved. And that's kind of funny to me because like if I were to take this bundle and sleeve it, if for any reason I had to take one of these cables out, you got to take it all apart. You got to pull that sleeve off, you got to cut it off, and start all over again, which is way more work than you should have to do. I think that's a leftover from the days when we didn't have round cabling and people just had these wire messes inside their cases. And in my opinion, like for instance, I got these Velcro ties, which is temporary and they're used for like microphone cables and stuff like that. And you stick them on there and they hold it really well. And then when you want to get your stuff back apart, it's out of the way. Pull that off and just get in there and do what you have to do. So we're just going to leave them on here to help me transfer the stuff over. And like I said, we're kind of pre-wired here. And even with that, with one hand, it's okay to spread the front and back out a little bit. Oops, my motherboard cable is a little caught there. And we just get on our posts. We're good in the front. We are good in the back. And then what's going to happen is there's a lot of hardware that's integrated into the actual rigidity of the case itself. So for instance, the power supply, when you screw it into the back here, it's going to suck the cage up to the back, and this little bend helps preventing it from moving side to side, and it's actually part of the center support for the whole case. And the bezel is the same way. So everything has been made removable, and the hardware helps to complete the rigidity of the case. So it's very light and very strong. And I like to hide cables where I can. And I left this space along the edges for cable management to help hide stuff. And you can kind of see how it's ending up here on the other end. Well, as you can see, we're ready for our final assembly. Before I put it together, I wanted to show the radiator bracket, which can fit a 2 by 120 millimeter radiator. And there's kind of some mounts for a pump on the cage, but if your pump doesn't mount upside down, there's definitely room in the front here to put it there. But instead, we're obviously using the fans. It's caging the heat sink, just like I said it would. And there's a couple different arrangements with this. You can put another hard drive bracket on the right side. If you're not using this radiator bracket, you can fit 4 hard drives. If you're using the fan bracket and have a fan here but not here, you can fit 3 hard drives. And if you're using 3 120 millimeter fans, which is pretty crazy actually, it's a little bit overkill, then it's going to take up the room of the right side hard drives. But you may also put hard drives in the bay drives as well, so this can technically fit like 6 hard drives with a CD-ROM. And we got Bill's flames and blowhole here. This could be used a couple different ways actually. It's really cool. Now we transferred this system over, and I had it wired so the cabling is going to go under the CD drive. I also do it in a way where we run the CD drive in the middle and then run the cabling over the top. The reason why I'm saying that is because you can obviously use a fan with this blowhole underneath, or maybe even like kind of work one in on top of the case as well and kind of do like a carb kind of thing happening. But for this mod, the way I have the system assembled, it's going to act as a blowhole, and it's actually going to be good for the front assist on the airflow, and it'll pull the air over the hard drives here, especially if you have 4. And I don't know if any of you have gotten the new 750 gig hard drives, but they're running really, really hot. So even with this case, with the front airflow, it's definitely a good thing to have. And then on the inside here, we got a little bit of soundproofing. It's just 4mm single density stuff, PaxMate, which you're used to seeing, and it does actually make pretty good difference. It made more of a difference on the first case than it did this one, because this one's so open, but it still helps to eat up high-end, high-frequency fan noise. So to put the cover on, I'm just going to spread it apart a little bit and bring it down, center it on the front. I've already tied up the power supply, so it's a little tight right now, but it's okay to bend things with this case. You are in, man. Another one of Bill's great products is billet case feet, which is going to make this thing look sicker. I'm really It's amazing to me how well his products are integrating with this case. So now we're putting on that final detail touch. It's really easy to put on. And that's working great with the look, the black and the chrome. Perfect.